What is going on YouTube? Hayden here. In today's episode, we are going to be continuing looking at Solana, as well as XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, VONG, which is the Russell 1000, and then also the S&P 500. Guys, there's a lot of interesting technical indicators forming here across the board on like all these cryptos. We have XRP, which in my opinion is forming what appears to be a very beautiful head and shoulders pattern. Feel free, if you guys disagree, to leave a comment down below, but it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, this is clear cut, a head and shoulders pattern forming here, which means we may have just a hair of slight recovery. Like in the past, we went up right about here, maybe a little bit higher, $2.90. We currently had a peak at $2.65. So we could see prices go maybe up to here briefly and then see correction. But if not, I wouldn't be surprised at all that we start the descent back down, because there is an obvious head and shoulders pattern forming here. Remember, we did break out of this bullishly, so there's a chance we could see a run to the upside here. Maybe we can jump to the 4-hour and uncover some new things here, but for the most part, it looks bearish to me. So that's what we're going to go off of for right now until proven otherwise here. And aside from XRP, we got Solana in an ascending broadening wedge. We have Ethereum in an ascending fractal. Bitcoin also in one of these broadening wedges here. It almost looks like we could slightly tweak this to make it something like this. I'm gonna stick with this actually, because this looks a bit better here. Now forming a descending fractal. This is pretty bullish. We have VONG, which I think is going to continue to head up. Same thing with the S&P, but let's go over lots to discuss in today's video. So with that being said, make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe. Let's get right into today's episode. So before we dive into the technical analysis, remember there's only 2 days left to get the free deposit rewards on Bitunix, which is one of my favorite exchanges that we've been using the past couple of weeks here. Aside from BYDFI, we also have Bitunix. These are the 2 top cryptocurrencies that I've been vetting and seeing how they are. We've been using BYDFI for years, but we've decided to kind of not put all of our eggs in one basket. And also, like, why just stick with one exchange when you can take advantage of bonuses on multiple exchanges? You know what I'm saying? So when, BYDFI isn't doing a promo, Bitunix usually is, and vice versa. So here's another one, and you can just swap back and forth and get free money consistently here. So literally depositing can get you up to $100 in free futures bonus, with leverage can be over $1,000. So more info on Bitunix will be later on in today's video. We'll check them out here. But diving right into today's episode, current coin market cap looks pretty good. 69 on the fear and greed. We were in the 70s a couple of days ago, if not even yesterday. You can see when I click on this, we were more so at like 71, 75 back on the 10th. Today is the 16th. So a week has passed, and now we're looking at about 69, 69, which isn't bad. We're starting our descent back down after the double bottom. And I do think we have the potential to head up more, but there's a big part of me that thinks we're going to continue to veer lower here. You can see cryptos are finally starting to consolidate now. Not really seeing much movement over the past 24 hours at all, but the past week you can see what we've been seeing, which was some pretty bullish tendencies. But right now you can see just lots of consolidation aside from Ethereum here. Everything else is pretty much just kind of floating where it's been for many days now. And you can see yesterday we made an episode talking about how history seems to be repeating for XRP and these cryptos here. Like, we're in a beautiful ascending fractal here. Higher lows are clearly shown, and that's what we're going to continue off of here. So we'll start with XRP, since I know that's what you guys like, and then we'll carry on into these other cryptos, and then the stock market, since that's what I'm really heavy in at the moment here. But you can see, so basically profits we use from from cryptos we dump into our main pool, which is in the stock market. But you can see XRP here is forming a beautiful head and shoulders. For those that might be new, head and shoulders patterns look like this. Very common textbook pattern here. Typically see some sort of, shoulder, then a head and the shoulder, which is typically about the same size. This one looks a bit lower here, but again, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, bearish trend, bullish trend, neckline support. That is exactly what we're dealing with XRP at the current moment here. So what we're looking is for neckline support to be broken. But until that happens, we can either head up and then finish it, or continue the descent to the downside here. Regardless, we'll have ample opportunity to figure out which direction we're moving to and when to be buying in. And when the time does appear and approach itself, we will take advantage of these trades. But very easily could we start to see this correction. It's a very big possibility, especially when all the other cryptos kind of point in that general direction too. Like I said before, not only can you take advantage of the Bitunix trade that's offered, but everyone that decides to sign up with the link down in the description will get brought to my landing page, which you can earn over, I think, $5,000 in free bonus cryptocurrency too. So make sure to check that out here in bonus trades available. But the cool thing about this is when you head on over to the futures trade on Bitunix, we've been tracking XRP. Yeah, XRP, one of the very few exchanges that actually still has XRP to leverage trade here, which is excellent. You can see the beautiful uptrend breakout that we've had off of here, and we are getting ready to buy in. I am personally waiting to take advantage of the opportunity here. You can see maybe there's some sort of fractal forming here on XRP. Only 2 points of confirmation, not enough to guide another buy-in opportunity. But once we see closure below support here, that's when I plan on putting in opening a short position on Bitunix and shorting this to the downside, because we haven't seen it just yet. I mean, we can jump back on XRP here. We could draw in the very small uptrend right here, very small resistance up top, but we are looking for a breach for us to take advantage of this trade. So until that happens, we're kind of sitting ducks. But when it does happen, which inevitably it will, we'll take advantage of it on Bitunix here. Aside from Bitunix, looking at like Solana and these other cryptos, you can see Solana is also in an ascending fractal. So everything is kind of lining up with each other right now. You can see Solana's beautiful 4-hour ascending fractal here. And the daily doesn't look too bad. But these kind of are hit or miss. I mean, typically how we enter is how we exit here. But one would think, too, with the way this is forming here, if we breach support, we could dump. Like, this is a very big possibility that is still holds certainty on a lot of these cryptocurrencies here. We're just waiting for confirmation. Right now, this would be a gamble. If you buy in here, we could go up, we could dump. That's not accurate. That's not a good risk to take. But if we close below support, that would signal a short opportunity that we can take advantage of here. So that's what we're waiting for. We could breach resistance up top here. It's probably right where we are, and we could see a reversal. Anything is possible, but really, we don't have that sign just yet to take advantage of it. Then you look at something like Ethereum, which typically how we enter is how we exit. But when you look at this, we can only go up for so long, and at some point, we are going to dump. So really, again, we could finish out strong and dump, or we could dump here. Both is going to end in a correction, and I'm going to be the first one to take advantage of it here. We also have what I believe is a bearish divergence on, where is it? On Ethereum here, where regular divergence is bearish. We have the price move up and the RSI moving down, and that typically ends in prices correcting. It usually causes a reversal and a dump in the markets here. So on Ethereum, prices continuously are moving up, but at the same time, we have the RSI moving down. This will typically see a rejection price and cause correction to the downside here. So truly, what my biggest trade would be on is Ethereum. Waiting for Ethereum's beautiful yellow support to break. That would be the perfect entry point for Ethereum here. Bitcoin bull flag, which is interesting, but still on the the up and up, or sorry, actually correcting to the downside. It could cause an up and up, but you can see continuously locked inside of here. We're waiting for that decision to come true. Then we'll take advantage of that. We then have Vong, which looks pretty good right here. You can see, I think we're going to, that is a beautiful resistance. I didn't even notice that. We are hitting a very solid resistance here. I don't know why I didn't see this sooner. So clear resistance here, probably going to see rejection like I've drawn back to moving average, and then we'll break through it. But wow, I don't know why I didn't notice that. So we're going to have some trouble here entering this weekend. So let's see how we react to that. Could we say the same thing on S&P? No. I think S&P is going to follow Vong, or we could continue to head up. But regardless, we are nearing overbought on a lot of these cryptos. So I would ultimately assume correction would, come true first, and then we'll start to see the run to the upside here. So that's going to be it for today's episode. Definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.